This is the river Indus in Kohistan. In Pashto, one of the main regional languages, its name is Abbasin, father of all rivers, because it is assumed that its power can tear down anything. The steep Indus Gorge is surrounded by the Hindu Kush ranges and the Himalayas.
We were also having shops, markets and hotels, but now this side completely has been vanished by the floods, the recent floods of 2009.
One of the urgent relief activities to support the affected people that has been going on since then is the distribution of food as well as family kits with blankets and quilts, jerry cans, cooking utensils and soap. One of the beneficiaries is 34-year-old Mujib-ur-Rahman, who came to today's distribution of relief goods. Since he does not speak English, Malteser International staff translates.
And he's just 16 kilometers far away from here, and it's almost 1 hour drive. He has come by walk. He is living with his relatives, his whole family. He says he's very much thankful to the government of Germany, to the Malteser and to the PEMAN, our implementing partner, for providing these things, and these are going to meet their basic needs.
Most of the mountainous areas of Kohistan, where Malteser International is working with national partners, can only be reached via small paths along steep hills or by helicopter. Those who lost their houses depend on the distribution of winter-proof shelters to overcome their misery. But strong winds and snowfall make it difficult for helicopters to operate every day in these narrow valleys. More than 500 tunnel shelters and more than 2,100 family kits have been distributed within Kohistan and in particular in Palace Valley. Many of these can only be transported to the beneficiaries by helicopter since the jeep tracks have not been repaired yet. One of the project areas of the shelter distribution is Kolai in the Palace Valley. It takes at least 2 hours by jeep from Patan, the closest marketplace, to reach Kolai. This is one of the winterproof shelters that have been distributed by different relief organizations since the earthquake in 2005. Corrugated iron sheets are bent over curved iron pipes into a tunnel shape. Canvas layers are then inserted for the floor and the front and back side. The recipients can also add locally available material to insulate it.
He was also having his home on the bank of the river. His home has been damaged or completely washed away. He was living for the last almost 5-6 months with his relatives, and his relative cannot afford anymore to give them living. He has just almost 200 grams of pulses and just pour water into it and just make a soup out of it. And then 13-14 family members of his family, they are supposed to take it.
Selected beneficiaries also receive, additionally to food ratios and shelters, also blankets, an energy-saving stove and mats as basic provisions against the bitterly cold winter. Malteser International's relief activities also include basic health care for affected people. In one of the villages, a dysfunctional health post is substituted by 3 tunnel shelters. Malteser International's doctors provide medical help to many affected by rotating between villages according to a predetermined schedule. Here, a 40-year-old villager asks for a medical check due to a respiratory infection, which is one of the most common health risks in the cold and wet winter season.
Were not having any doctors, they were dependent just upon the dispensers. So they used to go to dispensers and they used to prescribe on the behalf of the doctor.
Malteser International also provides grain mills to selected villages where the traditional water mills have been destroyed. Thanks to these utilities, the communities can grind the last sweet corn harvest. This is an important part to help them rebuild their agricultural livelihoods. Together with the other elements of Malteser International's help, this constitutes an integrated and sustainable support.